Welcome in, everybody. It's another edition of Devon's Table. I'm Devon O'Day.
I'm Sylvia Gagne.
And we're going to talk about the bounty of harvest that comes this time of year. And most people who planted early tomatoes have tomatoes coming out their ears, don't they?
Absolutely. They are tomato heavy right now.
Well, before we get into that, I have a surprise for you. Nancy Hennessy, who made my apron, she knew that the last episodes that we did with my new Nancy Hennessy apron, she said, Sylvia wanted one with chickens. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
She made one especially for you.
We're twins.
We're twinsies.
Oh, Nancy, thank you so much. I love it. I can't wait to go put this on. This is going to be great.
Well, we're going to get right back to this. We're going to have a word from our sponsor, Mid-South Exteriors. And then when we come back, we'll be twinsies and talking maters.
You got it.
Hi, I'm Brenda Fielder. At Mid-South Exteriors, our custom sunrooms bring the sunshine in without all the heat and the bugs. And they keep you warm all winter while you enjoy the outdoors all year round. They add real value because we build them like your house to match your house. Or let us save you energy by replacing your windows and old siding. And because we have no retail overhead, we come to you and sell direct to you for less. Call us at 833-8003 or visit us at MidSouthExteriors.com.
If you're on the square in Lebanon, you will see a place called 316. And it is absolutely adorable. What's your name?
My name's Sophia.
And Sophia, how long have you been working here?
About a year.
What brought you in here to apply for a job?
Honestly, I'm a college student and I was looking for something that I could do like in my free time. So they posted an ad on Instagram and they were like, we're hiring for weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect, because I mean, I have classes throughout the week. So I applied here, came and interviewed, and I fell in love with the owners. They are literally the sweetest people ever. And I got a text like a week later, and I was like, hey, when can you start? And I was like, oh, that's so perfect. And now I work here like a couple days throughout the week, and I love it. I love all the people that come in here. I love the owners. I love every single one of my coworkers. So it's just a great environment.
What is your name?
I'm Jessica.
And how long have you been here,
It's
Jessica?
my second week.
What?
Yeah, I'm retired after a 30-year career. So yeah, this is my fun.
What did you retire from?
Southwest Airlines, 30 years.
And now you get to come in here and play.
I get to have fun because I just love everybody who's here. They're just great. So it's a new family.
You were showing me these cool little things. For that, those little drips and those things that end up in the cup holders.
Yeah, we have a couple of these. It's like you put them in your car, and then you put them in your cup holder so you don't get that kind of mess in your car. Like for your coffee, whatever.
Yeah,
that
those
way.
little.
Yeah, I have some of these in my car. I'm trying to see, I don't think they have the ones I have, but literally they made such a difference. Like, I used to like clean out my cup holders, they'd be nasty.
Yeah.
They'd be so nasty, but yeah.
How cool is that?
I mean, we have everything. Room mist, counter spray, lotion, hand soap. Got the whole line. It smells amazing.
Everywhere you look in here, there is an affirmation of goodness. I just love it. Okay, let's talk sunscreen. We got that going on. The Cali Cool sunscreen. The clothes are so unique and so cool. I love this. Jeans. Got shoes. Gifts. All sorts of awesomeness. All sorts of little goodies.
Yeah, the dip mixes are a bestseller. There's a recipe on the back, and it's literally so easy. You just add like sour cream and like mayonnaise or something, and they are so good. We've had a couple of like some of the events that we do, and people love them, and then they end up taking some home with them as well. And then this poppy popcorn, it's made in Asheville, and literally I tell people if you open the bag in the car, it's not gonna make it home. Like, it is addicting. It is so good. Hometown kind of gifts, tons of Lebanon stuff because Lebanon High School is like right down the road. Tons of Nashville stuff because people like to come in that are from out of town and get like a car coaster or a magnet or something. We've got stuff for Watertown also. Watertown's like in the next city over. Tons of mugs, tons of pillows. These pillows are actually like customizable. You can order them to any city in Tennessee, and this one you can order for any college. These are our Milk House candles, and if you're looking at tobacco and honey, that is our best seller.
Tobacco and honey.
Yes,
now.
and it sounds strange, but you have to smell it because I promise you, it will change your life. I have never smelled a candle that smells better than tobacco and honey, and that's the one that we sell out of every single time we do an order.
Okay, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it.
You need
a taste smell.
A taste smell.
Oh my god!
I told you.
Oh my gosh!
It doesn't just like overpower you with the tobacco, and it's not too sweet. I think it's perfectly unisex. Like people come in here and get them for their husbands, and they love them.
I love it. You've got journals and all sorts of yummy gifts to give people. Oh, this is so great. Right off the Lebanon Square too. Have you forgotten how fun it is to shop? Even if you don't buy anything right at first, you want to smell the candles. You want to get a whiff of the tester perfume. You want to take a look at the soaps, and you want to try on the shoes. You want to see something different. You want to see what it looks like as an ensemble. Well, here at 316 Boutique in Lebanon, Tennessee, right off the square, you can have so much fun. It is a delightful place.
Did you know that up to 80% of us will experience back or neck pain during our lifetime? Many of you are offered surgery or addictive pain pills to relieve your chronic pain. At the Dr. Gill's Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief, we have been leading the way to better health, naturally, and have helped tens of thousands of people right here in Middle Tennessee for the past 30 years.
I came to Dr. Gill about 10 years ago after my local doctors recommended surgery. I knew about Dr. Gill and wanted to see if he could help me. 10 years later, I am pain-free, no surgery, and no pain pills.
Surgery is scary, and over 40% of all back surgeries fail, creating a cycle of surgery and pills. There is a safer solution to your chronic pain. Make the call to the Dr. Gill Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief today and get your life back. This office visit is normally $299, but call today and receive your initial consultation, report of finding for just $49. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Call 615-768-8743. That's 615-768-8743.
We're going to talk types of tomatoes, and we're going to talk all the myths about tomatoes. Did you know there are tomato myths? She just told me there are.
Lots of them, believe it or not. And over 500 varieties of heirloom tomatoes alone. We are not going to talk about all 500 today, Devon. We'd be here for far longer than this episode will let us be. We'd be far into the night talking about those tomatoes, but we'll hit some highlights.
Good. Well, Mama Pat's going to be happy because she's been out trying to find heat-resistant tomatoes in past episodes. So we're going to talk different kinds of tomatoes. And if you're late in planting tomatoes, it's okay. There's still there's a tomato you can plant now if you need to for fall tomatoes.
Absolutely. So, are we ready to dive into the types?
Yes, let's dive in.
All right, well, you're guarding the tomatoes over there. You've got your favorite, right? The Cherokee Purple. Is that why you picked it up?
Yes, I really love them. They're so rich and they're sweet, and they have a kind of there's just a different taste to them. And I like how much they look beautiful in a salad.
Yes, they've got that dark reddish purple to them, and they're sweet, but still a little bit of acid. You can tell it's the Cherokee Purple by the little green tinge that's right there. This is an official Tennessee tomato. It originated right here in Tennessee.
I did not know that.
So,
I did not know that.
Called Cherokee Purple because the Cherokee Indians cultivated that tomato here in Tennessee.
Wow. I like this one too.
You like that one too? All right, so this is amazing because yellow tomatoes actually have more lycopene, which is the good thing for your system, than a red tomato has. So you shouldn't shun getting a really nice, beautiful yellow tomato. This is technically a manna orange because it's going to get a little bit more orange as it ripens even more. So that's exciting.
Oh, I got to dig down here. This great big guy down here.
Mr. Stripey.
Mr. Stripey?
Yes.
Because it's variegated. Look at that.
Some people call these a pineapple tomato, but technically the pineapple tomato is a totally different tomato. It's just like calling a red heirloom over there all a mortgage lifter. There are numerous types. There's German Johnson, there is the mortgage lifter, all of that sort of good stuff.
Now this is just a nice red tomato, kind of a pinky color.
Absolutely. So this is actually Martha Washington.
Wow.
So believe it or not, Martha has her own tomato.
Oh, I love that. Well, let's talk the real yellow tomatoes.
So these guys are super interesting. This is called Great White.
Huh.
So it is almost a white tomato. And you see there's another one that's right there beside of it. This guy, he's a little bit bigger. He's easier to see that he's more white than yellow. So Great White. These are going to be the sweetest tomatoes that you get. And then here you have, this is just a regular red slicing tomato. And that's going to be the one we're going to talk the most about, debunking some myths about how to store these tomatoes.
Oh, I want to get all up in that. Now see, we've got the orange covered, we've got the Cherokee purple.
We got the pinks. That's another Martha Washington hiding out on that tray. So I think we've hit the highlights there.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is a red slicer that is one of my favorite kinds. It is called Red Deuce.
Red Deuce.
And it has a lot of meat. It is like a beefsteak style tomato.
See, that's my favorite, is the beefsteak.
And they have a lot of meat in that tomato.
I love that. I love that. And then the past, one of the past episodes, we actually showed how to de-seed them. Our friends from Pick Tennessee Products, Tammy Allgood, she showed us how to de-seed them because sometimes your seeds get really bitter, so you kind of get rid of those before you cook sauces and stuff like that.
Concassé.
What is that?
That is de-stemming and de-seeding the tomatoes to get all the juice.
Concassé?
Concassé.
See? That's a fancy way to say squeeze them seeds out.
You got that right.
All right, let's talk about storage because, I mean, we always kept them on the windowsill for a little bit longer. If they were a little bit green or whatever, we you know.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the elements of tomatoes. A lot of people go out to the garden and they pick a tomato and it looks like this. This is called a breaker.
Okay.
It's starting to break color. And you would bring this in along with the ripe one that was hiding that you missed the day before, everything else, because you don't want the birds or the squirrels to get it.
Right, right.
Because the next day when you go out, this is going to be much more red and probably something is going to say, that's starting to look delicious. And they take one bite out of it and then we all get mad and we get really frustrated that we don't have any tomatoes that didn't get eaten.
Right.
So a lot of people will pick their breakers, which is absolutely fine to do. Other people will let them get a little bit further along so that they are this light red with a little bit of yellow in there. This is still a breaker because it is not all the way ripe. This to me is the perfect time to pick the tomato.
Okay.
Instead of leaving it all the way on the vine, because if you leave it on the vine too long, you are going to have to wrestle with something that's going to get the tomatoes.
Right.
And you end up getting two good tomatoes out of your plants and you get really frustrated. So I would pick this tomato, but I wanted to show you what breakers look like.
Breakers. You guys know that term now.
And when you go to the grocery store, every tomato that you get in the grocery store, unless it is a local heirloom, is picked even greener than this. And it is put in the back of a truck and it's sprayed with the kind of gas that make it turn red, but it's still hard as a rock and cardboard. This is going to go into a refrigerated truck. That refrigerated truck is going to be between 32 and 45 degrees, and that is going to make this tomato never ripen and turn mealy.
That is the grossest taste of a tomato. That's when you get those tomatoes from the grocery store and you go, oh, it looks so pretty, and you cut it open and you go, it tastes awful. That's what you try to combat. That's why buying locally really makes a difference.
It makes the difference, but it's also important to know about when to put a tomato in the refrigerator.
When?
People say, oh my gosh, never put your tomatoes in the refrigerator. Keep them at room temperature. What temperature do you keep your house?
70, well, I keep mine a little warmer than other people, but 74, 75.
That is too warm for a tomato.
See, I didn't know.
The methodology was that most people keep their house at 68 degrees. That's great for a tomato. But once you hit 70, if you have tomatoes just sitting out on your counter, if they are already ripe, they're going to start to go bad faster. If they are breakers and you put them in to the refrigerator, they're going to get too cold and turn mealy. So the trick to refrigerating a tomato is this. Only buy the tomatoes you're going to eat or pick the tomatoes you're going to eat within the next 1 or 2 days. And then if they're a breaker, you can keep them out on the counter a little bit longer. When they turn ripe, then you're going to put them in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 days maximum. No more than that. And then when you get ready to eat it, sit it out the counter the morning of, let it come back to room temperature.
Oh.
It will begin to re-release that particular enzyme that's in the tomato that can seize up. Never keep them more than 3 days in the fridge. So
Never more than, you guys hear that? Never more than 3 days in the fridge.
And that is the trick of when to refrigerate a tomato, because it will go south very fast in a hot room, because those rules were written for people that keep their house at 68 degrees. And I don't know about you, but the cost of energy, I'm not keeping my house at 68 degrees, especially in the kitchen.
No.
Because it's already going to get hot. So 74 is a typical southern house temperature.
That's right.
And so we know how to keep our tomatoes.
See, I love that. I love that. And, you know, there's a custom, it was for us, when it was tomato season or when it was pepper season, fresh garden season, every time you serve a meal, whether it is breakfast, lunch, or dinner, there is a plate of fresh sliced tomatoes, some banana peppers, bell peppers or whatever cut up, maybe even some onion or whatever with every meal just about. Well, sometimes breakfast, no, but you can use your tomatoes in all sorts of things like frittatas and omelets, and use your tomatoes. Don't save them for a rainy day, and give them to people who don't garden.
And you could even have that for dessert, because tomato pie for dessert is delicious.
Didn't even think about tomato pie.
I love it.
Savory or sweet tomato pie. I bet you have a recipe for tomato pie on your Green Door Gourmet website.
We have tomato pie recipes, but if you're going to make a sweet tomato pie, then you would use the yellow tomatoes, because they're naturally sweeter. Less sugar, sweeter tomato. See, Mother Nature knows what she's doing.
Tomato Talk, brought to you by Sylvia at Green Door Gourmet. And of course, our friends at Mid-South Exteriors, they bring us this program. So a big shout out to Brenda Fielder and Heather and the whole family. You guys stay tuned, there's more to come. Tell us a little bit about why Two Rivers Ford wanted to get involved in honoring a citizen doing amazing things.
Well, the Mount Juliet community is a special community, and we know it, and we see it all the time. And we have customers that are teachers and volunteers. So we have the new Two Rivers Ford Park, or the naming rights to the Two Rivers Ford Park and the Mount Juliet League. And we just thought, how awesome would it be just to pick a citizen every month and spotlight them, put them on the board, just celebrate the wonderful people in our community.
Tell me a little bit about how you got so involved in volunteering.
Mainly because I retired from stewardesses in 1980, and I was bored. So I started with Girl Scouts, and then started with tennis, you know, and things like that, because just to keep myself busy. I love to do stuff.
What are some of the organizations that you work with currently? What is a typical week like for you?
Oh my. My typical week right now revolves around my grandchildren. But I also do the Tunnels to Towers thing with my daughter, Jenna, who is in charge of it. And she lets me pretty much just go and help out here and there. No, I really love the Tunnels to Towers thing. That is an awesome organization. I also do the Kiwis, which is the American Airlines former flight attendants, and we do a couple of different things, but mainly locally we do the Second Harvest, which is really an interesting thing. If you've never done it, somebody needs to go do that to show you what that's like. It's amazing. I do the lung association thing with a friend of mine. Her husband died of a lung disease, and so I help her out every year. What do I do? The what? Oh, yeah, the breast cancer thing. I forgot about that. There's just all kinds of different things that if anybody needs somebody to volunteer, that's kind of what I do.
I wanted to ask you, if you know someone who is retired, how would you encourage them to get out of their day-to-day and say one of the things, and to get them into something that they love, into volunteering? How does that help if you're retired?
Oh, I don't think there's any. I know too many people that retire and end up sitting on the couch and watching television, and I can't understand how they do that. But there's so many places, and I can't really think of that because every time I need to do something, it comes to me. It's kind of like Jenna calls me and says, Mom, we need to do this, or Sandy calls me and says, come on, I need some help on this, or that kind of thing, because people know that I'm kind of one of those people that jumps when you say go. So there's so many things in your communities and things like that. I'm not familiar with today's as much as I was, 20 years ago. But everybody's looking for help these days. And I just say, if you see it, do it. If somebody mentions it, do it. Get up and go.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
It's time for the Release the Hounds Music Festival. It is taking place Friday, September 15th at Johnny Cash's Hideaway Farm in Bon Aqua, Tennessee, raising money for animal rescue in Hickman County. ReleaseTheHounds.org is where you get tickets, but guess who's playing? Flat River Band, Scott Southworth, Jenny Tolman, Travis Tidwell, the Boomtown Saints, and the Outlaw Apostles. September 15th, that's a Friday. Get your tickets now at ReleaseTheHounds.org. As the giant dinosaurs of Dino Trek leave the Nashville Zoo, make way for the Komodo dragon. Yes, the dragons are coming. The dragons are coming. And right now, you can register to win a household membership to the Nashville Zoo, the easiest way to see these real-life giant lizards in real life. July 24th through August 13th, go to any Main Street Media of Tennessee website for any of our local papers, and your family might be on their way to a zoo membership. The dragons are here, and you can be too. Brought to you by the Nashville Zoo and Main Street Media Television.
Welcome. I'm Amy. Welcome to our farm.
Open the Gate is a really special program. You're bringing folks out that have been in some type of transitional program in rescue missions, but they haven't quite experienced this yet. This level of vulnerability in terms of emotional vulnerability, telling your story. And they haven't been involved in the power that comes from having it told well. The most powerful way, I think, because you have a lot of tools. You have words, you have melody, you have groove, and you have structure. I think from a therapeutic value, especially when you're hurting, especially when you're dealing with trauma, being able to tell your story inside a structure is safe. They're willing to tell you more of themselves and more of their story, and maybe even take a risk in telling you things because of the structure of a song. They feel safe. It's like a house that's well built.
I opened up a lot too since I've been here. Like just in this little bit of time, like I never talked to anybody like about what's been going on with me, you know what I'm saying, and what's going on in my past. So that was definitely a big step. It was almost scary, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Dear me, I wrote you this letter hoping someday you will see and believe that no matter what you've been through, you're everything you need to be. Take what I say to heart and make your brand new start. Dear me, love me.
It was really great timing for me in the last couple of years to be involved with these programs, because as a songwriter, I needed to finally go, why am I doing this again? And have an answer that was worth it.
Don't listen to the past, 'cause it ain't even half the girl you were or the woman you are now. God knows you're strong and brave, and they can't take that away if love's the only thing your heart allows.
And what makes the farm special is that it is an intense moment of coming to terms with your story and turning it from a story that you thought was your worst moment into realizing that it can be your best. And if everything goes like it should go, that's what happens.
Well, I wrote it all down with tattoos on my arm. Wrote it all down.
South Exterior.
Hi, I'm Brenda Fielder. When it comes to sunrooms and screen porches, we have more than 60 years experience helping Middle Tennesseans add value to their homes. At Mid-South Exteriors, we install all types of siding, from hardy board to all the new vinyl designs. We also do custom trim, gutters and downspouts. We even do roofing. And of course, energy-efficient replacement windows. Our website is our showroom, so we come to you and sell direct to you for less.
MidSouthExteriors.com.
Thank you guys for joining us, and a big shout out to everybody with a community garden. We want to hear from you. DevonO'Day@gmail.com. We love to do stories on that, or maybe you have a farmer's market stand or something. We want to hear about it and where you are, because Green Door Gourmet can't service everybody. If you're like looking at us and you're watching like in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, we not there. So let us know where you're watching.
That sounds great.
Well, Sylvia, anything coming up in the fall to look forward to for Green Door Gourmet?
Hopefully not a lot of weeds. We don't like those coming up.
No, we don't like weeds.
But we have all kinds of wonderful things getting ready to happen here on the farm. And of course, fall is harvest time with pumpkins and sweet potatoes and all those good, wonderful things that are in the field growing right now, getting ready for fall harvest.
Wow, you don't even think about a pumpkin. I always think to plant a pumpkin when I see pumpkins. That's way too late. Way too late.
That's 120 days too late, sunshine.
Yes, well, that is why we watch Green Door Gourmet's website to find out all things good. I never make it in time to plant, so I always make it in time to buy at Green Door Gourmet. See, that's how it works. Hey, you guys, if you're out looking for a blessing, come to Green Door Gourmet. But remember, to find a blessing, you got to first be one.